Daf Samach Aleph Amud Aleph, top line. And we're carrying on discussing the, by mistake, getting the order wrong. And in order to get it clear, by getting it wrong, you first have to tell us what is the correct order. Somebody tell us. Shai, what can you tell us? Your chance to have a drink. What's the order? What's the order? Forget we did Zov, just pick the 11. Okay, video on the cow first, then then Hakvola, then the second video, then Shechita, then the Keteras, all the Keteras, then going to Beis Hamikdash, Kodesh HaKadoshim with the damn power and doing 1 up, 7 down, then going out shechting the soil, doing 1 up, 7 down. Okay, the cow is on, but this is what we need to know here now. So let's say, in this order we just said, instead of doing 1 up, 7 down of the cow, he first went and shechted the soil. He's done nothing, and in fact, he has to start the whole thing now. It's a mess. No good. Says, well, prove that it's incorrect. How are we going to prove it's incorrect? From our Mishnah. Mishnah says, now, Higdim damasoy damapah. That means the more understood at this stage, we're talking about in the Kodesh HaKadosh. So he did the damsoy before the dampah. What's he need to do in the Kodesh HaKadoshim? First 1 up, 7 down of the cow. Then he goes out to shech the soy, and does 1 up, 7 down in the Kodesh HaKadoshim of the soy. But here he went and did the damasoy before the dampah. So what's the Mishnah say? He should do it again. It means he should go and do the damasoy again. But the problem is, if you work it out, he's gone and shechted the damsoy before he did the dampah. Because work it out. We said, what should he have done? He should have done 1 up, 7 down on the dampah, gone out and shechted the soy, and the 1 up, 7 down on the soy. Says the Mishnah, if he did the damasoy before the dampah, he has to damasoy again. But the only way he could have done the damasoy before the dampah is if he shechted the damasoy before the dampah. So if he shechted the damasoy before the dampah, what we're discussing, where he did it, not just that the dam was no good, but he did the shechita first. And you've just told us, Ola, that if you've done shechita first, then you've got to then redo the shechita. So why does the Mishnah just say go back into the dam? The Mishnah should say go back into the shechita. Answers the Gemara. Effectively, let's say the Gemara's question. Answers about our Mishnah, when it says you did the dam so before the dam apart, is not talking about what you did the dam before the dam apart in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Which, if that's the case, you've done the shechita at the wrong time. No, we're talking about the dam in the heichel. So let's get it clear. What did the Kohen Gadol do right? What did he do wrong? He did everything right. Then he did the 1 up. He shechted the cow. Then he did the ketores. Then he did 1 up, 7 down of the pot. Then he went out and did the shechita of the soil. Did 1 up, 7 down of the soil. But then when he came into the heichel, he did it in the wrong order. But indeed, if he did it wrong in the wrong order in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, then not only has he done the zvik in the wrong order, he's done the shechita in the wrong order, and then he has to do shechita again. Okay. Now, very, very briefly we discussed this, but it's very, very serious. On Yom Kippur, he brings really 3 different chatos. The cow, the soy, where does he does the zvik of the cow and the soy? Does anybody remember? The zvik in the Kodesh Kadosh, the Eichel Anu Mizbeach Hazav, and then he does the soy la azazah. The soy la azazah. Now, each thing is mechaper for a different thing. What is each thing mechaper for? That's what we discussed. We want to discuss it here more in detail. Rashi explains that this pasuk is referring to the dampal, and it's referring to the fact that the cow is mechaper lifnai v'lifnim if anybody makes himself tummy inside the Beis Hamikdash. Oil moyed. That's if anybody went into the heichel being tummy. How is it possible to go into Kodesh HaKadoshim being tummy without going into the Kodesh being tummy? Absel, that's one answer. What? Yes, that's what he said. Absel in. You're going through the roof of the. It isn't a back door. You go through the roof. But there's another way. If there was a sheretz which was tummy and dead, you could be toy in the Kodesh and only become tummy in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Now, what happens by mistake? Let's say a Kohen shows and becomes tummy. Is he chayav problem for being tummy in the Beis Hamikdash? The answer is no. Why? Because he never came into Beis Hamikdash tummy. But the answer is he has to get out as fast as possible. Should he wait there enough time to do an avodah without getting out? Then the chayav calls chas v'sholem or a korban. Right? That's just for the records. Again, the Torah says you mechaper for the Kodesh HaKadoshim or el moed zeichel mizbeach k'mashmoy. Yechaper elu azoros. That's 4 different kaporos: Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Kodesh, mizbeach, and azoros. Hakoyanim k'mashmon. That's koyanim. Ama kol elu Yisroel. Yechaper elu alevim. Hushvu kulon lechapo achas. Shekulon miskapte b'son yishtalech b'shaveres to Rabbi Yehuda. When Rashi explains it, this is the bottom of the Samach Beis disagrees. Basically, like this. The first he says the pasuk being split in half, and if you got the pasuk, it says like this: "V'chipes mikdash hakodesh v'samod v'samizbeach." That's referring to the par, the soil that they mechaper on Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov for Klal Yisrael and for the Kohen. That's the Sam Mishtalech, which is mechaper on all the other averos. Rabbi Shimon, did Rabbi Yehuda? That's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon makes Shimon shetamasor anas b'fnim mechaper l'Yisrael b'tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov kachtama po mechaper l'Kohanim b'tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. Says mechaper on the Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov the damapar just like the damasor. וכשם שווידו שסם משתלח mechaper l'Yisrael b'shar averos כך וידו שפעם mechaper l'Kohanim b'shar averos. This requires a certain amount of explanation. I'm trying to explain it. No good daf of Friday, but okay, maybe it is extra schal. The cow was mechaper for Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov for who? The Kohanim and the whole Kshevet, and not everybody agrees. Not everybody agrees. The soil bifnim, the one which we said, the he-goat, which we did one upside down on this, was mechaper for Klal Yisrael. Right? That again, everybody basically agrees. The soil azozel is mechaper for what? All the others for who? For whole of Klal Yisrael. Now here we have a machlokas. It's one of the ancient things which was very disturbing is that the soil that goes bifnim, there was never a vidu. If you remember, the Gemara earlier I was discussing with something. Take it back there, you never realized it. How many times the Kohen Gadol said the name of Hashem on Yom Kippur? Did anybody know? He says it 10 times. We had to take it more earlier. 3 by every vidui. He says 3 viduim, and 1 when he said La Hashem, when he did the Hakwan. So what's the 3 viduim? We should know by now. 2 on the cow, and where's the 3rd? No, the Soil Azazel. The Soil Hashem never got a vidui. It's a very strange thing. The Soil Hashem never got a vidui. Think about it. You did 1 up 7 down. You went out to do the soil. Shecht is brought the blood in. Never did a vidui on it. So says Rabbi Yehuda, says Rabbi Shimon, that we see over here that a soy can be mechaper b'tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov without a vidui. Without a vidui. The same logic should be that the cow is mechaper without a vidui. So then why did he do the vidui? Why did he do the vidui? We just said the soy is mechaper b'tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov without vidui. So why is the cow do the vidui? Answer says Rabbi Shimon, that the vidui of the cow is mechaper on all the averos of Klal Yisrael, all the averos of the Kohanim. So let's get it very clear again. According to Rabbi Shimon, the vidui of the cow is mechaper. That means the cow has 2 parts: the blood of the cow and the vidui of the cow. So Rabbi Shimon, I'll prove it to you because the soy is mechaper without a vidui. So the cow can also be mechaper without a vidui. So when there's a vidui on the cow, what does it do? It's mechaper for all the averos of the Kohanim. Oh. The soil Hashem or the soil Azazel? That's the rest of Klal Yisrael. So again, let's go. The soil, we start with the easy ones. The soil bifnim is mechaper for Klal Yisrael and Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. The cow, which is bifnim, is mechaper on the Kohanim for Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. Now, what about the vidui of the cow, which is bifnim? Rabbi Yehuda says it does nothing extra. All it does is Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. So when you've got the soil azazel, what do you need to put on that soil azazel? All the averos of Yisroel, Levim, and Kohanim. Says Rav Shimon, since you did a video on the cow bifnim, which you didn't need to, because the soil bifnim was mechaper on Klal Yisrael to Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. So the video bifnim, what does it do? It's mechaper on all the averos of the Kohanim. So the soil azazel is only mechaper on Klal Yisrael, not the Kohanim for all the averos. So somebody would say to you, what is the soil azazel mechaper? What would you say? Nachalikas, what or what?
Either everybody's averos.
And everybody's averos, the whole of Klal Yisrael, all the averos, with the exception of what? Tumas Mikdash v'Kadoshov. Or it's mechaper on klal Yisrael's averos of everything except for the Mikdash v'Kedusha, but not kohanim at all, because the kohanim already had a kapor, 2 kapors. The blood of the cows mechaper them on, and the video of the cows mechaper them on the averos. So that is the machlekes. It's a double machlekes. The way we should explain it. One is the video of the cow mechaper for anything. According to Shimon's mechaper for all that videos, according to Yehuda, it's just mechaper on 2 Mikdash. And finally, the Sola Azazel, which is same machlekes, is mechaper for the kohanim's averos, general averos. Just very, very briefly, Tumas Mikdash v'Kedoshim is 2 separate averos. Tumas Mikdash is if you go into the Beis Hamikdash or you stay in the Beis Hamikdash when you're tummy. Ukedoshov is when you eat something which was part of the Beis Hamikdash hekdash when you're tummy. That's 2 different kinds of kapos. This very short Beis, which we just read now, is brought down in Shavuos in great length. So it's good to remember to get to Shavuos. Beginning of Shavuos, there's a shayla what each animal is mechaper for. So if you remember, the Sola Azazel is mechaper for everything, with the exception of 2 Mikdash v'Kedoshim of klal Yisrael, or the kohanim's averos, and then the rest we can work the article. Another drasha. In the Mishnah, I don't know if anybody had a chance to see the uploaded videos. There's a machlekes regarding one question in our Mishnah. And that is like this: when the Kohen God does Zrika, does 1 up, 7 down. What happens if in the 7 down he spills the blood after doing 3 down? He does 1 up and he spilled the blood after doing 3 down. What's the difference? The whole bowl spilled over. Now what does he do? Oh, machlekes. What's the 2 shitters?
You have to start again, or do you continue?
Very good. Does he have to carry on from the 3? He's done 3 down, only 4 more down. Means he shechts another cow, and does he do 4 more down? Or does he have to start from that set again? Everybody agrees he doesn't need to start from a previous set. There's an example, he did the Kodesh Kodashim, not the Poroiches, he doesn't need to start from the previous set. The Machlokes is only within a set does he need to start again. So that was the Machlokes. So here the Gemara, the Mishnah just tells us the Machlokes. It does not tell us the svos of the machlekes and the details of the machlekes. This Beis tells us a bit more the details of the machlekes. The fact that the Apostle tells us 3 different ones. That is like the first shitta. Each set is its own kapor. So if you spill it in the middle, start that set again. That is shittas tanakama. From here it says that this Beis is a bit long. It's a bit lengthy, explains what we just said in great detail. You put some of them, you did 1 up, 3 down, and then you spilled the whole blood. You have to start that whole set again. You can't say I already did 3 down. No, you have to do 1 up, 7 down again. They disagree. If you remember, so if you spill it after 3 down, you only need to do 4 more down. Carries on. If you finish the blood inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim and then you spill the blood, so now what do? Do you have to do the Kodesh HaKadoshim again? What would you say to me? You did the Kodesh HaKadoshim, very good. You don't need to, because it's a new set. Then you start again. Now you shecht another cow, but you don't need to do the Kodesh HaKadoshim just inside the You do part of the Batal Shebeicha of Nishbach Adam, and now the blood spills. What's the halacha? Machloikas. Because you did some of them, so it's a machloikas. Tanakama will say to you, start again the Heicha. Rabbi Shimon will say to continue from your finish off. Yomi Damacha v'yaschel v'tchila be'Heicha. Rabbi Shimon oimim, enu maschel makom sheposak. You only have to carry on from where you stopped, like you just said. Go on to Nishbeicha of Nishbach Adam. Yomi Damacha v'yaschel v'tchila be'Heicha. If you spill the blood after you did the Kodesh HaKadoshim, after you did the Echad, now you get another cow and another he-goat, shech them both, and now what do? Do Mizbeach Hazov. No, somebody says, you spill the blood, you've got to do, how much do you have to do Mizbeach Hazov? 11. Why? 7 on the top and 1 on every corner. So let's say he did 1 on corner and then he spilled it, or he did 3 on the top and then he spilled it. What's the halacha? What's the halacha? Machloikas. Say machloikas. Yovi damach v'yaschim v'tchil mataris mizbeach. You have to now start again all 11. Now you finish the mizbeach. You've done 3 sets. You did the Kodesh Kodashim, you did the Keicha, and you did the mizbeach. You've done 43 sprinkles, and now you spill the blood. What does it need to do with the blood? Yisroel. Which Yisroel?
Okay.
Very good. Either. Very good. Yomi. Why Maravi, by the way? It's Pesach oil. Why Yomi? That's very hard. Because the Mizbeach was put in the north, and it was only the Yomi was opposite the entrance. Very good. This machlokes we just went on and on and on is the same pasuk. What's the pasuk? From the Chattas Kippurim once a year. The once we're going on the Chattas. I said to you, sprinkle from one Chattas. If you do one up, three down, and split it, and go and shecht another one, it's two Chatos for the same sprinkling, and that's no good. The Torah says use one Chatos for the avodah. If you do one up, three down, split it. We've got more kind in this room. We've got more kind in this shit now than the Yisraelim. Well, actually, half off. What? So the chance of having a Kohen Gadol is quite high. So you need to know this. So again, your battery's running low. No, sorry, it wasn't plugged in. Again, if the Torah says chatos achas, use one chatos. If you split it after one up, three down, and use another korban, you've used two chatos for one avodah.
Why is that not all the?
Oh, because since the pasuk says es, the Ritva asks the question. It says, if you look at the word, es means the means it's a new thing, right? It says new Joshua of the Ritva. But he says that's pshat in the Gemara. It's not the Joshua of the Ritva. That's pshat in the Gemara. So I've lost the place. One chatas, not two. And if you can't two chatos for one avodah. They explain the word chatos from one sprinkling. You do not need to do two sprinklings. One sprinkling is enough, not two. Tanya Omar Rabbi. Rabbi said, "Li to me chilek Rabbi Yaakov belugi." Rabbi Yaakov, when he came to look, which is of the Mitzvah, he said that the halacha is different. That means there's not the same machlikas. The whole time you keep saying to me machlikas. When it comes to Mitzvah, don't say that to me. By Mitzvah, there's no machlikas. Mitzvah is quite complicated. What do you do with the Mitzvah? He brings the Osher Mitzvah, and he has the blood put on his thumb, toe, and his ear. Then he takes a lug of Shemush, which we're discussing now, really the lug. With the lug, the Kohen takes it, pours from one Kohen onto the other Kohen's hands, and then he uses the oil and he sprinkles it 7 times towards the Beis Hamikdash. Then he takes the lug and he puts it again on his ear lobe, on his thumb, and his big toe. And then the rest of the oil, what's it do with the rest of the oil? He pours it over the head of the mitzvah. I wasn't speaking about this, and people are like puzzled. You can't believe thumb. Imagine get the oil on your thumb, lobe, and your thing, and then the rest from his hands. He smears it over his head. Now the problem is, what happens if again he spills it in the middle? So what would you have said before you heard these few words from Rabbi, the name Yaakov? Say machlokes, very good. Came along, Rabbi, the Yaakov said to him that what? So it's different. There's no machlokes. Is it that true? Is it not machlokes? For Tanya Rabbi before Shabbai not something says to Matan Shebifnim and Ishbachaluk. Yovi lo gachev yaschem betchila b'Matan Shebeichol. He has to start from scratch. That shit is from there. That if you split it, let's say after doing the lobes, or after sprinkling it halfway, you only did 3 towards. You meant to do 7. Start from scratch. Wherever you start, wherever you stopped, that's where you continue. You should start again from the thumbs, toes, etc. Go again. Both times we have exactly the same machlokes. One time you're doing 7. And you split it in the middle of the 7. The camera holds that what do? You start from scratch. That doesn't say where you start from, you carry on. And the same thing in the middle of the thumbs. He put it on the earlobe, but then he spilled it, and didn't manage to get it onto his thumb and his toe. The mayor says, what do? Start again from scratch on the earlobe, then the thumbs, etc. Abrazov Shimon says, no, wherever you've done, you can continue from. So you see clearly the same machlokes we had regarding the sprinkling on the Beis Hamikdash, regarding the Pavasah, is exactly the same machlokes. How can maybe say such a thing that Yaakov said to him that it's not? He finished putting on the thumbs and the look got spilled. What does he have to do? What should he have done instead of spilling it? What should he have done? Very good on his head. The fact that he didn't put it on the head doesn't matter. That's everybody agrees. Just like similar to what? The Shiur, where everybody agrees that it doesn't matter if you spill it after his Be'achasov, it doesn't matter. We have to change the words of Rabbi. Li Shana Rabbi Yaakov, but look, Rabbi Yaakov told me the same halach is by login. Not that it's different by look, but it's the same halach by login. That if you don't put it on the mitzvah's head, he's fine. Says the Gemara, my Tama, why in the world does it not matter? Why not? Whatever's left over the oil put on his head, leftovers seems to be saying, it's only leftovers, it's not so important. When the Torah says the leftover of a mincha kun shadit. Now the halacha is, we actually had it very briefly once, that if the mincha gets spilled, if you remember by the Kremen, there's a bit left over, and we said that don't put on his back, because if there's a bit left over, the mincha gets lost, the whole mincha is no good. So you see the leftover, the mincha which the Kohanim eat is ma'akav. So how can you say it doesn't matter? There's two psukim. The pasuk says, for the leftover of the oil put on the thumbs, and the leftover from the thumbs put on the head. So it's a double leftovers. A double leftovers is not ma'akav. A single leftovers is ma'akav. A double leftovers is not ma'akav. And now I'm a bit torn as to whether we should stop now, because it's Friday. Yes, I think we should stop. We'll catch up quite quickly. Yes, Mr. Shem. So we're up to Rabbi Yochanan. Mamish, the bottom line. Shkerch for giving me all things. It wasn't really the ideal daf for. Okay, it's the shmak to have complicated sometimes.
So the